Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Satanic Panic Podcast, the podcast where we talk about anything and everything that manages to crawl its way out of production hell. My name is Zombie Sleeping. I am a failed final girl and horror VTuber, and I am joined by
Neon Maddie, I'm that pink thing so terrified.
So Terrify. Speaking of pink fashion, Barbie, we are talking about The Devil Wears Prada.
Incredible segue.
It is a 2006 American comedy drama directed by David Frankel. It is about a recent graduate from Northwestern University, Andy, who is aspiring to be a journalist, but first she has to cut her teeth in the publishing industry by working as a junior assistant to Miranda Priestley, the editor-in-chief of Runway magazine in New York City. Runway is kind of like, it's essentially Vogue, right? Because it's Miranda is Winpour.
Yeah, she's Anna Wintour, that bitch Miranda.
Bitch Miranda.
Resident Evil. This movie is so beautifully like 2000s. It's so much like campy fun. I really, really like it.
I know, like that opening shot with like every like romantic comedy or like chick flick like comedy drama has like the montage of the girl getting ready, like putting on her makeup and stuff. And like that like very 2000s font that the opening credits are in.
Right? And it's like kind of Avril Lavigne-esque music, like, come on, let's go, get ready. It was
I'm
so
a girl
perfect.
living in the big city. Yeah.
Kind of make my dreams come true. Like,
and we're following Andy, and she's not like the other girls. She wears chapstick. I like Andy. Andy's cute.
I like her a lot too. I think that Anne Hathaway is such like a charming actress. I feel like she brings like a lot of like natural charisma to things, like, or to roles, I guess.
For
So it's
sure.
really easy to like effortlessly like her. Like even without like spending a lot of time with her, she just kind of is really charming, like right off the bat.
Very charming, very like she kind of like fits into roles very easily. She's stunningly beautiful and but has like that kind of like girl next door like kind of look to her.
Right? It's funny because I think she was in another movie where she played like kind of like the Miranda-esque role, but she like still plays like both of them really well. It's funny how she can like do both. Get you a baddie who can do both. Be the Miranda and also the Andy.
Also, like we have it's another Meryl Streep movie. Like love Meryl Streep.
I love her so much. I don't know. I didn't realize that that was kind of like her shtick is kind of like Ice Queen esque, because I feel like I've predominantly known her from this movie, but when we watch Death Becomes Her, I kind of realized that that's kind of like her thing. But man, she does that. She does it so well, dude.
She does like different versions of she like really disappears into a role where like I remember watching Death Becomes Her and I had like mostly known her from this movie and I was like, oh, she's so different. Like she doesn't do the same personality for every role.
It's so cool how like she can play like the cool, calm, collected one, but like different flavors. Like she adds a little bit of mint in there or peppermint, she spices it up.
Yeah, she's cool. Love me some Meryl Streep. But yeah, I kind of went over this in the plot synopsis, but the plot is that Andy has recently graduated. She's living in New York because she wants to become a journalist, but she needs to get experience in the publishing industry first. And I guess she was in contact with Runway's HR, and Runway's HR was like, well, here's this role for the assistant that keeps turning over. And what was it? They were like, if you can survive here a year, you can work wherever you want.
Right.
Crazy thing to say to somebody.
Funny, right? It's funny too because like even back then, I guess there was still the bullshit about having, even for an entry job you have to have like a year, even though she like graduated and like from like a high notoriety school, she still has to get that year of experience before she can do an entry level job, which is crazy.
Which is insane. But I really like the opening shot. I like the I'm kind of a sucker for whenever movies do like that. We're all connected by girlhood in like intro where it's like all the girls getting like ready and you see like the girls like kissing their boyfriends to go and everything. It's cute.
It is cute. And I think it did a good job of like showing how Andy is different. Like we know like immediately like in like the first few minutes like how she's going to be and how she's going to interact with like the fashion world around her, because she wears her loafers and not her high heels, and she doesn't like take that much time into her appearance like the other
Yeah.
girls do. I think it's a very good like establishing shot where you get to know her like really quickly right off the bat.
Love when they try to make this actress look frumpy, so they just like they're like put a blow dryer on her hair, leave it.
Tease her hair a little bit, but don't
She's
brush it
so
out.
she's so gorgeous that you can't make her look
Right?
frumpy ever. But
They
it's
had to,
really
like
funny how they try to do it. They're like, the blue sweater. Oh
oh god, I love that whole monologue, dude. Oh my
my
god.
god, I'm so excited to talk about. Just like all of Miranda's scenes are so good.
They are.
I love
She's
Miranda
like
so
spinning
much.
facts. It's funny because I feel like I don't know if we're jumping ahead or if I'm jumping ahead too much. I feel like Miranda has this like weird reputation. Well, I mean, not really weird, of like being kind of needy and high maintenance. But I think, you know, it's obvious that she like knows what she's talking about. She knows her business, runs her business, has been doing it for years. So I feel like if I don't know, you kind of earn the ability to kind of be that way if you've been running the game for so long, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, totally. Andy says it at one point on her like date with that like guy where she's
hmm
like, if Miranda were a man, nobody would be that upset at her.
Yes. That's exactly it too.
And also she's been working in the industry for so long. You're right. She has the know-withal to earn like the neediness, I think.
Mhm.
But we follow Andy and she goes into like the runway building and we immediately meet Emily. I love Emily to pieces. I think Emily is really funny.
I really like her too. I think there's something so funny about like the high strung the pairing between Andy being kind of like low cortisol versus Emily's high cortisol is just really funny.
I something that I want to I guess I kind of want to say about like one of my notes I had about this opening sequence with like Andy
Mhm.
and Emily and Miranda, like that whole like interview sequence where Andy's like coming in and like shooting her shot. Andy did a horrible interview.
Yeah, she kind of
But Andy's interview was awful. And it's really funny because we're not supposed to feel sympathetic for Emily or Miranda at this point yet, I don't think. Like, we're supposed to,
Mm-mm.
I feel like we're supposed to kind of like take them in
Oh
at
yeah.
entry level or like surface level and be like, oh, they're bitches. But like,
Right.
Andy's kind of being a jerk a little bit.
Yeah, she like ran in last minute, had onion breath, which I love that that sideline by Stanley Tucci being like, "Who had an onion bagel?" And Andy's like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Me? I did that.
oh damn. And also it's very funny, right? Because she did totally ruin her first impression by
Hmm.
when they're like Stanley Tucci's like, "All right, just stand there and like watch everybody," and fucking Andy's just giggling in the background while they're like all running through their business and looking through these coat racks and trying to like set up like their new.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, for sure. That's also bad.
mhm.
I'm just like, I'm talking about her like entry interview too, though, where she's like talking with Miranda and Miranda's like, you have no style. And Andy's like, well, and she's like, no, not a question. You look like shit.
I love that.
And she's like, and Andy's like, well, it's either here or the automotive magazine. Like, don't, you can't say that to the person you're
Girl,
interviewing
right?
for.
Yes, I forgot about that. She's like, "Well, it's either here or Walmart." Hello, you can't.
Like,
Then
hey, you want this job.
I feel like if I were Miranda, I'd be like, "All right, then go there. Bye."
Yeah, literally. Like I feel like they really want you to be kind of like annoyed at Miranda for being like kind of snippy with Andy, but like Andy is like there are
Mhm.
waves of like body language and like the way she's talking that are coming off of her that's like she doesn't want this job.
Right? I don't know. I feel like, especially or in a new job or a new setting like that, I feel like you kind of have to be like a fly on the wall, unfortunately, until like
Mhm.
you get like your own footing, until you start like learning a little bit more about that. So it was surprising, or she's just like, well, I don't believe in this stuff. I'm like, no, girl,
Okay. All
no,
right.
girl.
because she didn't know who Miranda was, and Miranda clocked that immediately. She's like, "You've never heard of me. You
Mhm.
don't read my magazine." It's like she's like throwing all of these curveballs at Andy that Andy like really should have done the research to find out this kind of
Yeah.
stuff. If you don't know whose assistant you're applying to be.
Right. That is true. It would behoove her, you think, my hooves.
My hooves.
Like, you think that she would at least like read a little bit of the magazine she was going to be like working with
Right.
before, like, at least before the interview, right? Because I feel like that's like the big thing, like you, like all the tips that you hear. It's like you want to do like a little bit of research about the company that you're working for before the interview so you don't look stupid.
Yeah. It's like, and it's also like Runway, if Runway is supposed to be Vogue, it's not like it would be hard to find this information. It's the
Right.
biggest fashion magazine ever.
Yeah, it has to be like everywhere on every New York City street corner and everywhere. All the Barnes and Nobles. Also, in just like public, like I guess in like the regular like cultural zeitgeist, you know about Vogue, like even if you're not really tapped into it.
Yeah, I don't read Vogue, but I know who these like some of these people are just because
Right.
like they're iconic.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought like I know that like Andy's our leading girl and everything, but I had to cringe a little bit when I was watching that because I was like, girl,
Girl, you really fumbled that. That was that was a bad
like
move on
girl,
your end, girl.
it's I'm sorry to say it, but Emily's kind of right. I don't think you should have gotten that job from that interview.
Yeah. But you know, she tried to recover with, but I'm a hard worker and but you too little too late, girl. Too little too late.
Yeah, right. You compared this to like an auto magazine to the editing chief like to her face. It's like, uh.
hmm Also, I feel like because you like Andy saw the whole like circus of her like entering into the building. I feel like for me, I would have been too intimidated to like try to act stupid in front of her.
Yeah, but
You
like,
know?
despite everything, she gets the job,
hmm
and like those those first couple of weeks is just nightmarish for Andy. And I feel like I feel bad for saying it, but I feel like a little bit of it is like her own fault because she's like going against the grain so hard.
Oh yeah. Like she's not being a fly on the wall. Like she's I feel like part of me wonders if because she said that to Miranda in the beginning where it's like it's either this or the automotive shop that Miranda was like, "All right, I'm going to work you like a dog since apparently that's what you're used to."
For sure. I would be willing to bet that almost like 100% of that was retaliatory.
hmm like kind of like a hazing almost in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, for sure it was. Um cuz me dogging on Andy a little bit here is not like me saying that Miranda's right to treat her employees the way that she does cuz Miranda's also not like Miranda's also kind of a bad boss.
Yeah.
Miranda has that thing where it's like she's worked up in the industry to a point where she forgets what it's like to be the smaller person.
Yeah.
So I feel
So
like that's
she
totally what it is.
hmm so she like forgets about like the work life balance because I don't think she has that as much anymore as we see later. Um
Yeah. Her whole life is runway now, so she expects all
yes.
of her employees like their entire lives to be runway,
Yep.
which is not healthy or good.
No. My other thing that I really liked about that first shot with Andy and Miranda, I really like how you can see people in like the background when they see that she's in the office, you can see them just like split. They're like, "Oop,
Yeah,
don't want to
like
be
the
caught
Red
here."
Sea. They're like, I gotta go.
I thought that was such a funny detail of like establishing like how like much of a presence and how scary she is in the office.
Yeah. I really like the way that Nigel interacts with Emily and Andy. I like the way that he interacts with
Mhm.
both the assistants. I really liked him like flipping
Yes.
up the little thing being like, "Who is that?"
Yeah, like like pointing in her direction. I like him a lot as a character. I think I really just like like a Stanley Tucci. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I think that Something else that I feel like kind of gets overlooked, or like at least Andy overlooks it, is how much people are kind of trying to help her in their own way. And she
Hmm.
just kind of like, I feel like refuses it because she's still in that like I'm above the fashion industry mindset a little bit,
Right.
where he like brings her the shoes and Emily's like trying to teach her how to do her job and everything, and she's just like, well, this is silly.
Like, I don't really need this to do my job. Well, girl, they're trying to just take the like the hand that feeds, dude. They're
they
trying to help you out.
they've obviously been working here for a long time and they know what works.
Right, exactly. They're trying
Like,
to help you blend in. Like swim with the stream, dude. The salmon are trying to help.
yeah, Emily got a promotion from the Dragon Woman. That has to mean something.
Exactly.
But I don't know. Just and like I feel like some of it's purposeful. I feel like some of it is like I do have a little bit of a hard time telling how much of it is like the movie wants you to recognize how silly Andy is being, and then like how much of it is just my own personal like interpretation of it. I feel like I kind of went back
Mhm.
and forth on that a little bit because I'm like,
Yeah.
surely it's a little self-aware that she's being a little hard-headed, right? Or is that just me?
Yeah. I think it's like a little bit of both. I think the movie like wants you to know like cuz she's like sticking out in this world that kind of has existed before her and she's so separate from it.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So I feel like the movie is kind of giving you clues that she's like kind of I don't know. I'm trying to think of the right like putting her non-heeled shoes into the sand and like,
Yeah.
trying not to like move forward or like trying to be kind of obstinate because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you said everyone's trying to like give her a handout and she's kind of just like I don't know and it's like girl look around you.
Yeah. But I think I think like the scene that you were bringing, and I'm sorry that I kept like kind of like directing us away from this. I
No,
really
it's
like
fine.
this scene, and I wanted us to give it like a lot of like I guess pointed
Hmm.
attention. Like
Yeah.
the scene where the fucking belt thing,
Oh my god.
that whole the belt like the blue sweater monologue from Miranda, fantastic monologue.
It was incredible. I really liked how it was like delivered because she said it like so effortlessly. Like this is like all like the thoughts that she has in her head all the time every day about like every article of clothing that she sees.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just like run of the mill stuff for her. So it's kind of it's interesting like it's just so passe where it's like oh like you didn't even think about this but this like decision was made for you like years ago. That's so cool. And I think that's the truth.
It is. It absolutely is. Like I feel like that was the point where Miranda didn't interact with Andy enough to actually, I feel like, experience this from her directly, whereas like
Hmm.
Emily and Nigel had been dealing with it. Where Andy was like, this is kind of silly, like they're both the same belt. And Miranda was like, oh, okay, you're in like a room full of directors and artists, and you just disrespected the whole craft to all of us in one go. Okay,
Hmm.
you clearly have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to educate you.
Right.
And I'm sorry to say it, it's maybe a little bit mean, but Andy kind of deserved it.
Oh, she absolutely did.
She
I
disrespected an entire
mhm.
craft and just like
Yeah,
belittled thousands of jobs.
in like a room full of people who that is their life.
Yeah. Andy had been like, I don't feel like Andy to that point, and even after that point a little bit, she didn't really, I don't think Andy really started to understand the impact of what was going on until she spoke with Nigel.
Hmm.
But Andy, I don't think like understood like the artistry that goes along with fashion.
Yeah,
And because like that girl brought up like the two belts and she was like they're so different. And I for a moment I was like, "Oh yeah, they are different." Cuz she's obviously
yeah,
talking about the buckle.
yes. So I think it's kind of funny because that kind of just showed that Andy doesn't really like have an eye for like detail, which you would think would be important in the line of work that she wants to be in.
Yeah. So it's just that drove me crazy. I was like, "Are you joking?"
Girl, open your eyes. I don't know. I think that was an interesting monologue too, because I feel like a lot of people kind of discredit fashion as like an industry, and also as like a mode of art, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
too, because people kind of see, very like flowery structures, like unnecessary fabric and all that stuff. But I think all of that stuff, it is important. I think that clothing, fashion, like it's been how we've been able to like present ourselves in society. And I think, I don't know. There's a there was a point that I was trying to make and it totally just escaped me.
No, I think I get what you mean. Just like clothing, just inherently, like the way that clothing is made, the materials that are used, the colors
Yes.
and patterns, that has so much history to it. And
Mhm.
like, and that's a universal thing. No matter what society you go to on the planet, clothing is
Right.
important. And the
It
way that
is.
clothing is made is important. It tells you so much about the
A
conditions that
culture.
people live in,
Yes.
the culture. And I know, like, people view it as, like, potentially vain, and to an extent, it is. Like, things
Right.
like Vogue and, like, Runway and the Devil Wears Prada, like, they are industries built on vanity, but it is still art. And
Mhm.
it is important cultural, like, milestones and, like, time capsules to know what was fashionable at that time, because that tells you a lot about what's going on in the world.
Yeah, because I feel like that lends into like the history and what's going on in that point in time. If there was like shortages of like this particular like material, they couldn't use that kind of fabric. I don't know, I think it's important. Like
Mm-hmm.
both like historically and like just as an art form. I don't think everything has to serve like a purpose, or not everything has to have like a function in order
Yeah.
for it to be like worthwhile, you know?
And it's really interesting that Andy is so, like, dispassionate, I guess, or like that she discredits this so easily when she's a journalist. And a big part of
Right.
journalism is recording history. And
Yeah.
I
Or
don't
like
know.
observing people around you too. Like I
Yeah.
don't understand like how you would not like go into like a world that is completely like foreign and alien to you and not be like very interested in like at least like try to like I guess be a fly on the wall again and like just learn everything you can about like this new surrounding to you, and so you can like report on it later. I feel like that'd
Yeah.
be like the interesting thing, but I guess it's just this frilly stupid stuff. No, girl. Open your eyes.
Lock in.
Lock in.
No, and I Miranda, like, really lays her out in front of everybody.
I think she deserved it. She like you said, she needed to be educated.
Also, I like there's this, like, really subtle power play that the two of them had with each other, where she calls for Emily. Andy's like, "My name is Andy," and then after Miranda, like, lays her out, and she's like, "Emily," and she answers, and I was like, "Oh."
She cracked the whip.
It's like, she got your ass.
She got your ass, man. You gotta lay in line.
And she looks at her clogs and it's like, that's it.
That's all. I love that so much. I feel like that's such like a powerful way to like end a conversation without being like, you can go.
Yeah.
That's like the effect of like snapping or flicking her wrist. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
That's
I'm
it.
done with you.
And then at this point, like, again, like, I feel like at this point, it just goes totally over her head because she goes home and, like, bitches about it to her boyfriend without learning a
God.
damn thing.
And they were so mean, and her boyfriend starts to piss me off during, like later on in this movie.
Yeah,
I don't like him very much.
I have, like, a weird. I feel kind of. I have conflicted feelings about her friends a
Yeah.
little bit because
Right?
on the one hand, it's very obvious that they've all been together for a long time and that Andy
Hmm.
is going through a lot of change in a very short time.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're being, like, the most supportive.
I feel like the only like one out of her friend group that really like tried to support her and like meet her like in her new like where she was in life was Dan. Like the guy who was like, "Oh, you're going to like meet this designer and this designer." Like he actually like tried to
Yeah.
engage with her about her world.
I think her and oh, what was the girl's name?
Ah, I don't remember.
I feel like the girl in Andy's friend group is also, like, she does also have Andy's best interest in mind.
Lily, that's her name.
Lily. Thank God. Where did you even
And it was
find it?
Doug.
His name was
I found
Doug?
it on the wiki. It was Doug and not Dan. I'm an idiot.
Damn it. Okay. But yes, I feel like Lily had like her interest in mind because Lily, like, she kind of, the whole thing with the phone, that scene with the phone where they were like throwing her phone around pissed me off.
Pissed me off too. It's like I wouldn't mess with anyone's, like, if they were my friends, I wouldn't mess with, like, if a boss is calling, I wouldn't mess with her phone. That's so immature, and I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't
It really
like that.
bothered me.
But whenever she had that, like, I feel like this is later, and I'm jumping ahead a bit. Whenever Andy was at her like photography, like the art showing, the gallery, and that guy shows up and gives her like that little kiss, and then Lily was like, "What the fuck was that?" That was a real like friend moment, I think, where she was just like, "Hey,
Yeah.
man."
I feel like the idea of being like, "Hey, what was that?" Would have been fine, but I kind of feel like Lily flew off the handle a little bit with that, with being like, the Andy I knew wouldn't have done that. Well, it's like, well, can you give me a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, please? I don't know. Maybe I think she
Yeah,
like went into it a little bit too hard. But I guess
yeah, maybe. I think that this was another thing that I kind of noticed that like kind of early in Andy's like getting settled at Runway, and in that moment a little bit, I feel like Andy also just kind of doesn't understand the culture of these spaces either, and doesn't like, initially she takes like the little jabs that people give her really personally, and she doesn't understand that that's just like, I guess, like how people in that industry talk to each other sometimes. You know what I
you're
mean?
getting
Like,
read for filth a little bit. Like
yeah,
that's just kind of
yeah,
par for the course.
yeah. Where it's like Nigel is like playfully like talking, like kind of jabbing her a little bit, and she like takes it super to heart.
Right? It's funny though, because I feel like we later see her, because I think at one point they're in Paris and Nigel goes up to her and was like, "Oh, do we have any kind of plan or anything kind of plan at all with Miranda?" And Andy goes, "Yeah, she told me everything she has on her mind, and later we scrapbooked." Like I
Yeah.
think she like starts to pick up on it.
Yeah, that's like, I liked seeing her kind of like come into her own on those a little bit, because I was like,
Yeah.
it made me so sad to see her like little puppy face every time someone was a little mean to her. And I'm like, no, girl, they're they're queening out with you, girl.
Diva down. They're trying to queen out with you.
That doesn't always apply to Emily, but it does a little bit. Emily was like just kind of like a little bit snippy, a little bitchy at points at the very beginning, but
Yeah, I feel like she's just like a little whiny. I think it's affectionately whiny. She almost reminds me of like a little sister, which is funny because she's like supposed to be the leader.
yeah. But
I get to go to Paris. I do. Okay.
all right, girl, congrats. Oh, and right after that, that's when, oh, what happens that like makes that like really pisses Miranda off and like spirals like in influences the whole makeover sequence. What happens? I don't quite remember.
I'm trying to oh, no, I was thinking that it was like when she was like trying to fly out when there was a hurricane going
No,
on.
that totally is what it is. That is what it is. Because Andy can't get the flight.
Which I think is a little that's pretty unrealistic. Like
Yeah, that's insane. That's like one of those moments where it's like, hey girl, let's come back down to reality a little bit.
like return to earth. I love that scene or like Miranda's page of like her like beautiful window and she's like, it's just drizzling, and you see like the palm trees like bending in the wind.
The
and, like,
crash
a
of lightning
strike.
Yeah. Like,
It's just drizzling. Like, girl, hello.
who are we talking about? I feel like that moment is like a little bit of not like a look into her, guess like a little bit of a look into her like personal world where it's like she's freaking out so bad because she has to go see her kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then we find out later how much stress she's under, like thinking about how all of this affects her children.
Yeah.
So I feel like that might have been like a good little foreshadowing shot into that.
Mm-hmm.
Still
I
crazy
agree.
ask. Still crazy ask.
Right? And I think too, because Andy was with her dad, like out at dinner at that point when Miranda calls her, and I don't know. I feel like her dad is kind of even like belittling about this job too, because he's like, "Well, why are you like with your degree? Why are you working at a runway? Like that one can't exist with the other. Like, why is it oil and vinegar? That's so weird to me."
Yeah,
I would,
I think he has some valid points though, because he also brings up the fact that she's not being paid very well,
that is true.
and like Miranda is treating her horribly because she's calling her at all hours of the night for everything.
True. Yeah.
But I don't appreciate the comments about like, well, you could have gone to law and now you're doing journalism and you're not even doing journalism, you're working at Runway.
Dad, I'm I'm just doing my best, okay?
Like most
A job's a
successful,
job.
yeah, most successful fashion magazine in the world, by the way.
This is gonna open a lot of doors, and she's right.
And
Listen to
she's
her.
yeah, she's right. Working at a place like that, you are going to meet a lot of people who
Yes.
could elevate your career. She's not there for a dumb reason.
Right. She's not wasting her time. Like it is like a good investment for the future. But that was a little crazy. And then it's just really funny that whole montage of poor Andy like running around the
Yeah.
city with her dad, like almost getting ran over by taxis. And she's like, "Does anyone have a flight? Please, you have to help me. It's for Miranda. It's for Miranda Priestley. You have to help me."
It's like, what
Like
do you
running
want to?
around with her chicken cut off, like her head cut off.
Yeah, it's like, here, let me call Thor, get him to get the weather situated. Like, what do you want?
Right.
Genuinely, what does Miranda want these people to do? But she's
I
not
don't
being
know.
logical. She's just being demanding and expecting things to be done. And she's just kind of being a bad boss.
Mm.
And then she has that whole, like, that monologue when like, the next morning where Andy's like, I tried my best. I can't change the weather. And she was like, I made a mistake hiring the frumpy fat girl.
God. That shit was so evil. She's like, "You know what? I took a risk. Hire the smart fat girl." I'm like,
It's like,
Jesus.
whoa!
And by the way, Andy's like a size
Size
like 6 or
six!
4.
She's a size 6!
I put my head in my hands. Like, what the fuck? Insane.
Early 2000s, it's crazy that they're trying to make a size 6 sound like insane.
Right? I don't understand, dude.
But then Andy has like her meltdown to Nigel where she's like, Miranda's so mean to me, and Nigel's like, then quit.
I loved that so much. He's like, "All right, then go." And
Bec-
she's like, "You're not gonna try to make me stay." And he's like, "No."
no, I don't know you, girl. Because this is another situation where I feel like he delivers the same. Okay, so like I feel like this is like a value struggle for Andy here
Mhm.
because Miranda was right in her big speech about the blue sweater.
Yes.
But I feel like because she wasn't hitting on what was important to Andy, it didn't land. But I feel like Nigel made that a bit more personal for Andy, or like he hit like her empathy a little bit more because of the story
Yes.
about the boy like reading Runway under the like how important this is not just for the people in the industry but outside of it too.
Yeah, like it has an impact
Yeah.
outside of just their little world, their internal world.
So I feel like that's when it really like solidifies for her that this is an important field that she needs to be more respectful of because if she
Mhm.
doesn't want to do it, there are plenty of people who will.
And not only that, I feel like he said too in that moment, like, if you're going to be anywhere and learn about this industry, this is like the pinnacle. This is the peak. And you're learning it from her, who is the one,
Yeah.
you know?
And I also feel like there's another angle to this that I feel like maybe I feel like it addresses kind of offhandedly with Andy's conversation with Christian at the restaurant where she's like, well, if
Mhm.
Miranda were a man. But there is a lot that Andy can learn about the way a woman kind of has to navigate in this industry. Miranda cannot be empathetic and soft
No.
and wishy-washy. She has to be the way that she is to even survive in the industry that she's in.
Yeah, she has to be like very firm, take up space, direct, and know what she wants. Which I like in like by them like isolated, those things aren't inherently bad. Like I think those are good attributes to have, especially like in that kind of space.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but maybe the way that she like goes about it all the time isn't necessarily the best. But at the same time, like you said, like that's how she has to be to survive.
Because this is 2006. I don't know
Right.
when the book takes place, and you had said earlier that you'd like to read the book. I totally forgot this was based on a book.
Right? Hold on, let me see. Oh, it was written 2003
Okay,
was when the book came out.
so 2003, 2006. These are not like friendly
No.
eras for a woman to come into as much power as Miranda Priestley is.
Mm-mm.
Especially considering the fact that Miranda is like older. She would have had to work like even further back in the industry to even get to where she is. Like it's what, like 70s, 80s, 90s. She would have been
Yeah.
eaten alive if she were anything other than what she is.
Right.
And I
feel
feel like this might be a situation of like younger generations looking back not really understanding the context of how things
Yeah,
happened.
I think that is the case.
Because it's very easy for Andy to be like, well, why couldn't she be nicer? Because Andy lives in an era where she potentially could get further than Miranda is. Or not further than Miranda is, but further than Miranda could have by being
Mhm.
softer.
Guess we'll see in The Devil Wears Prada 2 coming
I
out soon in theaters.
I've not
Said like it's an ad.
I, I've not seen anything about that.
I saw like a random ad about it. I think it was for some reason one of the Kardashians was in it, but they were at like the runway desk. I don't know. That was the only thing I'd
What?
seen on Twitter. It was really weird. I didn't like stay and watch it. I was just like, what the fuck? Why is why is Kendall Jenner? Sorry, Jenner. My bad. Why is Kendall Jenner here? And I just kind of kept scrolling.
Okay.
Sure.
Girl, what do you know about being at a front desk?
Right.
Okay. Sorry, that just really struck me. I'm just like,
It was really
it's
weird. Like, why is Kendall Jenner here at the runway front desk? Like, hello?
it's very this is like a whole different thing, but it's very fascinating how celebrities are very how they like to romanticize those types of jobs.
Right. Like Trisha Paytas working at McDonald's or KFC.
Yeah, I'm like
Like they're cosplaying.
okay.
That's
Put you
almost
in,
real life, by the way.
yeah, let's put you in a rush. Let's see how you do.
Yeah.
Let's put those pattern recognizing brain cells to work, all right? 15 orders all at the same time.
15 orders all at the same time. It's Sunday lunch rush. Everyone's mad.
Everyone's
Right
old,
after
they're getting out of
church.
church. Yep.
Yep.
You're getting popped with that hot grease. Let's see how you do.
Get to work. Get to running. Miranda's like, all right, fetch my coffee and also my scarf. And also, did DeMarcelier confirm?
It's like, what? What?
Huh?
I gotta say, I felt for Andy in that moment. That would have given me a panic attack.
Oh yeah, that would have fucked me up. I don't even know how I would have handled that. Did DeMarcelier confirm? Did who?
Who?
Huh?
Huh?
I also really like that moment on like the phone towards the beginning where Dolce and Gabbana is calling her and she's like, "How do you spell Gabbana?" And I'm like, "Girl, don't you write? Isn't that your
Cabana?
thing?"
You don't know who
spell-
Cabana is?
Right. That's what I'm
Sound it out. Keep up. And also, who the fuck cares how it's spelled? You just gotta tell her.
Right, just deliver the message. It's
Write it
fine.
phonetically for all I care.
Seriously. Banana.
Figure it out. Damn.
But I guess after this, it's her turnaround point for Andy, because Nigel's like, you know what? Here, new wardrobe.
We don't have anything that'll fit a 6, but we'll figure it out. It's like, bro.
Come on, man.
They keep bringing up that 6.
It bothers me. Over here, like, at least double that. I'm like, man, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck off, man. Like, sizing even matters anyway, because every fucking brand has a different sizing.
God, yes.
I'm a 2 in some places, I'm a 16 in others. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Right?
None of this shit's standardized. I'll be a medium and a triple X in another place. I don't fucking know. And none of it has pockets, so what does it matter?
Right? It's because they're trying to sell us purses, dude. That's what they're trying to do.
I can't even carry around a computer bag. What am I gonna do with a purse? The hell? I can't put a laptop in a purse. I'm an adult. I have a job.
Right? I got things to do.
But yeah, she goes through her transformation, where she puts on the designer shoes, the Jimmy Choos.
Oh, the Manolo Blahniks, which I think is a really funny crossover from Sex and the City, because that's what Carrie, that was her favorite high heel shoe, was Manolo Blahniks, which I thought was really funny. I pogged.
I've never seen Sex and the City.
I think you would like it. I
Should
think
watch it.
It's good for, like, I feel like the main show, not any of maybe the first movie, but the main show is really good, and I think it tells a lot about adulthood and being a woman. I think it's very good to watch.
I didn't even know there was a show. I only know about the movies. There's a show?
The show is really good. Yeah. It's like multiple seasons.
I didn't know that.
That's so funny.
My grandma had a DVD of one of the movies, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm not allowed to watch that.
It says sex in the title. I can't watch that.
No, I really thought so. I was like, why does she have this freaky ass movie? I didn't know what it was about.
Hey, listener, if you're listening, comment below. Are you Carrie, Charlotte, Sam, or Miranda? I've almost forgotten Miranda. Comment who you are down below.
Which one's the one with red hair?
Miranda.
Oh, me? I don't know.
I don't know who I am. Me? I don't know.
But
anyway,
she like after she puts on those Jimmy Choos, her life really turns around, and
turns on its heel.
Her job still sucks, but she looks good.
She hit the slay button.
Yeah. Hit that pose 27. Oh, this is when she meets Christian for the first time, because she goes to this party to pick up some sketches for Miranda's outfit from this party.
Yep.
And she meets Christian.
Party, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then she knows Christian because she's read a lot of his writing, I believe.
Yeah.
And
he's like, you need a drink if you're working with Miranda, which I thought was very funny.
Yeah. Just everybody knows Miranda to be this terrible, terrible person to work for. This terrible dragon woman.
I think it must have been kind of relieving to be Andy in that moment and because I feel like all of her friends that we talked about already, they didn't really, aside from Doug, they didn't really engage with her about her world that she's in. So it must have been kind of nice to have somebody who knows, and tries to engage with her about that.
Yeah, I feel like I have mixed feelings on Christian. I feel like on the one hand, it's kind of cool for Emily to have somebody who kind of gets it, and he does help her out with the Harry Potter thing. Yes. But on the other hand, I do notice that there are things about Christian that are predatory might be a little aggressive, but I can't think of another word to use for it. Like, he kind of recognizes that she's so fresh to the industry, and I feel like kind of uses that to his advantage when he's interacting with her a bit.
Yeah, it's like a little skeevy, I guess. Like it's a little gross.
Yeah. And he's
Cause
quite
he's
pushy, and he knows that she has a
yeah.
boyfriend at one point and still kind of like makes these weird comments to her.
Like,
And
oh, like I'll go see you around sometime. Like, okay, she told you that she had a boyfriend. Like, quit it, dude.
yeah. And there's the thing at the art gallery where he like gives her that little peck on the cheek. And I feel like that was a moment where he was kind of utilizing their culture a little bit to his advantage, because we see Andy do that constantly, like giving people the like little peck on the cheek is like a greeting and everything. That's very common in the fashion world, but I feel like
Yeah.
he kind of uses that as an advantage to make it a little bit more intimate than maybe Andy would have been
Yeah.
willing to accept otherwise. And that's what kind of gets her in that predicament with Lily, because it's hard to explain that to somebody who's not in it, but also
Right.
Andy knows that it was probably more than that too.
He was like really like towing the line there and like trying to stay in the box, but like still trying to approach the line of trying to do more.
Yeah.
Like he knew what he was doing.
Mm-hmm. And it puts Andy in a tough spot, because then
Yeah.
she has to
I'm
either
not a bad person.
yeah, she has to like defend herself,
Hmm.
because like it is and it isn't. So,
Right.
I don't know. I'm not like a huge fan of Christian.
Me neither. Like he is, like you said, very helpful, but like it's weird that he like tries to. I don't like when people try to like get away with like trying to think of like the turn of phrase. They try to like get away with a lot with a little.
Yeah.
You know,
And that's
it's weird, like manipulative kind of.
that was definitely his whole thing with her, was just trying to like
Hmm.
edge his way in.
Oh, but then oh yeah, because then after that, oh, and then there's the scene after she has her transformation sequence where like they have like Miranda's calling while they're all at like dinner. Oh, and wasn't that like her boyfriend's birthday dinner too that she showed up a little bit late for?
No,
Or is that a separate
so
time?
that's a separate time. What happens like right after what happens right after that? So that's the dinner where they're like throwing her phone around and stuff. And
Being
then
assholes.
yeah. Um after I think it's like this point during that montage that we see that Andy is like doing more to like be present for her job and like is getting the hang of things finally. And that's when Miranda finally trusts her to deliver the book.
The book. And that scene is so funny. When she's like because it's very like explicit directions of like put like her like jacket in the first closet like right across from the stairs, and you see, like Andy like panicking because there's like two doors in front of the stairs. That's such a real moment.
Yeah, it totally
Where she's like,
is.
oh no. And she's supposed to put the book on the table with the flower, and she's like looking around and like all
There
there's
are
all
like
these vases
three different
everywhere.
tables with flowers.
Oh god, if I were her, I would have been like, fuck.
I feel like my assumption would have been the one by the door, but also like Miranda's such a demon that I would have been fucking
Right.
freaking out too.
I would want to get that like that exactly right. So I don't know if I would want to just like put it where I thought it would be, because with my luck it would have been wrong.
I
But I
wonder
love
why
that
she
her
didn't call
daughters.
Emily.
I don't know. Maybe she just like assumed it was like too late and that Emily would be like asleep or something. But
Girl, nobody cares if you're asleep.
right, seriously, I don't think anyone cares what time it is in this world.
But what were you saying about the
Um.
twins?
Oh, like the twins, like they see her like struggling from up like top of the banister, and they're like, "Put it over there. No, just come upstairs. Just come upstairs." Like evil little like sirens from the cliffs.
Yeah. Like really trying to get really trying to get her in trouble.
It's so funny. I feel like they've had to have seen their mom crash out at another assistant before.
Oh, for sure. I feel like that's exactly what they wanted to happen. They wanted to hear that through the floorboards.
Why are you
Get the hell out!
there? But it's kind of funny because as Andy like goes up the steps in like Miranda's house, I feel like she kind of goes from like the the display area where like everything is like kind of looks good for a picture, and when she like goes up the stairs, she like kind of goes into like Miranda's real life, where she like hears Miranda like begging her husband like, no, come on, like let's just go here, and he's like, no, you didn't show up for this important meeting and now I look like an idiot. And Andy's just sitting there with the book like, oh my god.
It kills me that she
Oh,
just puts it on the floor.
right, she just like leaves it there like as an offering, like bows and then skitters away.
He
Like what?
skitters away. No, it was that's immediate. That's exactly what I thought of. There's like an offering. Like, please don't eat my.
Please, I'm so sorry. Like like head bowed and not making any eye contact at all.
And I loved Emily the next day being like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
The twins. Well, I went in and then the twins started talking to me, and then Emily's like, "Oh my god, you talked to the twins?
Why would you trust the twins?
You rookie mistake. Come on."
And honestly, if I were Emily, I'd be pretty annoyed too. I gave you such explicit instructions.
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, there was like 3 tables with a flower, so like I don't I think it was just kind of a doomed to fail situation.
It's
Either
rough.
way.
But I feel like I really like Emily because like Emily
like her
is
too.
she's really bitchy and everything, of course, but like Emily's an interesting not even she's not a rival to Andy really at all.
Mm-mm.
And I feel like it would have been very easy to make her that
Yeah.
because I feel like that's typically how those characters are. Like I feel like on your first watch, you would be expecting Emily to be like sabotaging Andy and like getting in her
Mhm.
way and stuff, and she really doesn't. Because if Andy
No.
does poorly, it reflects badly on Emily too.
Right. They're in the boat together, so that's why she's like, "What is wrong with you?"
She's like, "Can you please just get your act together, please?"
Girl, you're making us look bad. Can you please get it together?
Because she's like strapped to this bomb with Andy, and she does not want to be there.
SpongeBob, there's a bomb strapped to my
She's like, "If you die, this goes off and kills me too. So please."
chest. I need you to lock in, please, bro.
It's so funny. This poor woman. But that's when like the Harry Potter debacle happens,
Oh
where she is like,
god.
so this is such vicious retaliation.
Like, oh, you're gonna try to like fuck around in my home? I'm gonna fuck your day. Find me the like a manuscript of the new Harry Potter. Huh?
No, but like her being like, go get me the Harry Potter manuscript is so obviously her setting her up for failure so that she has an excuse to fire her.
But she like makes it through. Andy does with the help of Christian. And
Mm-hmm.
I love how coolly like Andy like handles that. Cause she's like, yeah, like, you know, I sent out the manuscript with the twins, and this is like another spare copy. Oh, because I love that too. Because Marina's like, oh, there's only one copy. What am I supposed to do with that? Like she's like trying anything, like at this point, to like ruffle Andy's feathers or like find like a small error in Andy's mistake. She's like, oh yeah, well, I made multiple copies and they're on their way now with the twins on their way like to grandma's house. Is there anything else I can assist you with? And I really like the look that Miranda gives Andy, where she just like kind of like scans her up and down. And Miranda's like, well, damn.
It's it's very funny. Because
It's so funny.
I've seen a lot of this is totally off topic. I've seen a lot of Andy and Miranda Yuri edits using that clip.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Because at that moment, I think that's a good Yuri. That's a Yuri-ful moment,
Yeah.
because I think they both leveled that, like they were at like the same like power field. Like, you know, they're at the same level of power in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Andy adopted the same kind of coolness that Miranda usually does. So they were like seeing eye to eye.
Oh yeah, totally. I really I gotta say, Andy's so real because she pulls that out. Meanwhile, like 3 minutes ago she was having a panic attack.
But I feel like, you know, when like your job or wherever like asks you to do like an impossible task and you get that accomplished, I feel like you do have that moment of like, here, bitch, meh. Like you want to
Oh, for
like,
sure. For
you want to
sure.
flash your work.
Check this out. What?
Look what I did. Nah.
No, absolutely. It felt really good. It felt really good to like see our girl like pull it out in that moment.
She got her win. Yes.
Thank God she needed it.
She did. But I think
But
from
oh, go
there,
ahead.
isn't that where like Miranda starts like kind of respecting her more? She's like, okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like that's kind of the moment where well, I feel like that's the moment that solidifies that Andy's the one going to Fashion Week in Paris
Hmm.
because or not that moment. No, 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 no. I'm getting ahead of myself. Because that's
Oh,
when Emily gets sick, and then they have to go to that like party, and that's when Andy is late to the birthday thing.
yes, that's what happens.
Because Emily was so sick that she couldn't remember that guy's name, or yeah, that guy's name.
They were at like the benefit ball thing. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, that's right. And Andy, I really like how that during that whole exchange when that guy is coming up and Emily's like, "Oh no, I can't think of the name." And I think Andy knew it the entire time.
yeah.
And Andy's just like waiting for Emily to like to jump and say it, and then at the end, Andy saves the day.
Mm-hmm. And then she runs into Christian again. Christian is like, I can introduce you to people, and Andy's like, no, I really need to go see my boyfriend for his birthday. And how do you feel about this whole situation? I guess I don't know really how to feel about it because on the one hand, it does really suck that Andy was not able to be there for her boyfriend's birthday. But also, this is like a very real work situation.
Right.
This is not a runway exclusive problem. There are going to be times where you have to miss stuff because a coworker is sick and you need to cover for them because
Yeah.
like this isn't just a runway thing.
No, it's an any job thing. I like I kind of found him annoying in the boyfriend being like, I can't believe like you would like prioritize work for me. But it's also like sometimes, like you said, that it just happens. Like you can't really affect that. But I guess it's also maybe Andy could have like called and maybe uh, I think Andy could have maybe communicated and been like, "Hey, I'm being held up. Like, happy birthday, celebrate without me." Kind of like try
Yeah.
to communicate a little further, but it's also, I don't know. You would think that he would know about this benefit going on and kind of put two and two together, maybe?
Like, I don't know.
Mm.
Cuz she was talking with Lily on the phone about being late. So,
Yeah,
like I feel like obviously he knew she was going to be late.
right.
And if it's a benefit, those typically go pretty late. And I think what really kind of irks me about it is she didn't make the party, but she was still there. Like she still showed up for his it wasn't like the next morning or anything like that.
Right. Like she was still there, just late, like she said she would be.
And I guess it's like we don't have like we as viewers don't know how many other events have happened in the time in like the
That is true.
this timeline that have been interrupted by Miranda. Like I'm assuming a lot of them have.
Hmm.
And but I think what also bothers me about this is that Andy wants to talk about it and he just goes to bed. And maybe
Yeah.
right then wasn't the time to talk about it, but he just didn't really seem all that interested in communicating with her about it at all.
Yeah, it's I don't know. That would have made me feel really uneasy too, where he's just like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. It's dismissive and weird.
Yeah, I've been like, what do you mean, whatever?
Clearly you're upset about it. That can we just like talk? Like also can we like talk about like what made you upset in that moment? Because I feel like I did in Andy's shoes. I feel like she did what she could have if she's like communicating that she's gonna be late. I don't know what else she could have really done other than not be there, but she has to because it's for like a work event, you know?
Yeah. And I didn't really understand cuz he gets on her about that later too, like during the art gallery like where they actually end up breaking up.
Yeah.
Where he's like, you always say you have to, like you don't have any choice or anything. It's like, okay, do you understand that her goal is to become a journalist and a bad reference from Miranda could ruin her career?
Right. Like it is for something. Just because you view it as frivolous doesn't mean that it is in actuality. Because it's for that goal of the good reference. Also, he like it really seemed to me like he was like throwing a hissy fit in that moment because like yeah, like I'm just like a little like a chef. So let's stop pretending that we have anything in common anymore. I'm like, okay, like that's your own perception of what's going on. That doesn't reflect on Andy.
Mm-mm.
You know, like I think that he's viewing his job as less than when I don't think that was Andy's view at all.
Yeah, it seemed like he was kind of like projecting a lot of stuff onto her in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I wouldn't care what you do as long as you own it. And it's just like, she is owning it.
She is owning it. Yeah.
Like, she has, like, admit, like, again, it is like a lot of change in a short amount of time. And that's bound to put like a strain on any relationship. But she has evolved from making fun of the runway girls to like defending Miranda a little bit and like
I think she like changed and evolved her opinion.
yeah,
And
which
also,
oh my god.
right? In I don't know, maybe personally, I feel like if I were to be in a relationship with Andy and I'm noticing that she's like putting more pride in her appearance and stuff, I think that would be a good thing. I would be
Yeah.
like happy for her in that change because it seems like she's like starting to invest more time in like thinking about what she wears, her makeup and stuff like that. I think that's a good thing to do, like to care about how you look. Like I don't know. I don't think that would be necessarily a bad thing or a thing to snub or be like you're just a shallow fashion girl now. Like God forbid that she cares about her appearance.
And like she's still showing up to these events
Right?
for her friends. She
She's
didn't
still trying to
have
be
like
there.
the I can't go to your art gallery. I have more important things to do. And
Right.
also she was invited to go meet someone that would elevate her career by Christian that night she chose to go home to like see her boyfriend for his birthday. Like she's still making choices that are in the interest of her friends.
Right. She still has like her same priorities.
I just feel like they're not really meeting her in the middle.
They're not I feel like they're seeing this change happen and they're just like yeah, they're not meeting her in the middle at all. It feels like they're it's like, why aren't you here for me when I need you? Can you not? I'm in the middle of my own shit. Can you not see I'm going through it? Can you like give me a little bit of a break?
Yeah. But yeah, her and her boyfriend break up. And
Doofus
then
McGee.
and then she goes to Paris.
Because Emily, she's still sick and then running around and having to get 5 million lattes and she gets hit by a car.
She gets hit by a truck. Hit or by a taxi, I think.
Poor girl.
Yeah, really going through it. And then also in the hospital and gets the news dropped on her that she's not going to Paris.
God, both my
Worst
legs
day
are broken,
ever.
and I'm not going to Paris either. This day sucks.
And Emily, like, absolutely has a right to be upset. Emily has been busting her ass just as much as Andy
Oh
has
yeah.
over the course of this movie. Because she's
Hmm.
dealing with, like, we don't see Emily's side of it, but she's dealing with a whole new job, new responsibilities,
Right.
and also training Andy, who's not very good at her job.
Right. She has like 5 different plates that she's trying to juggle right now. So like,
And Emily is obviously very good at her job.
yeah.
And so it
She's able to like
does,
step up. Yeah.
yeah, it does suck for her to not have the thing that would, I guess, solidify that she's being recognized for it because she got
Yeah.
sick.
I like though in the end that Andy. This is a little skipping forward though. Andy does like give her like all like her swag that she got from Fashion Week.
Yeah,
I think that was very nice.
it's very sweet. But no, I would not want to be Emily in this story. This fucking sucks, dude.
Worst day ever.
And there's something about the fact that Miranda makes Andy do it. And I feel like this whole like post the Harry Potter thing, I feel like Miranda is like gearing Andy up a little bit, like, because I think this is the point where Miranda like has made the decision that like, yes, Andy's somebody worth investing in.
Yes.
And I think it's at this point that she starts kind of like slowly introducing Andy and like, okay, like this is what the industry is. Like,
right. I think kind of like not in like the negative connotation of this way, but like kind of like grooming her to like be a successor maybe. Because even at like the very end of the movie, she's like, hey, you and I are like pretty similar. So this is what it's gonna be like.
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's like, I think Andy had learned a lot to this point, but I think the one thing that Andy hadn't learned yet is in order to progress and to take someone's place, they have to go somewhere else. And whether that's pushing them further up or pushing them to the side, if you want that place, you have to make the decision.
That is true. And I think that plays into Andy's ultimate choice at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Because this happens a couple of times in this like last like sequence of the movie of essentially like the closing of the arc that is Paris. Paris is kind of like where everything comes to a head.
Mm-hmm.
The entire movie has been hyping up Paris the whole time.
Yeah.
Because she has to make the decision and she has to be the one to deliver the news to Emily that she's not going.
So brutal, dude.
From a teaching perspective, like I don't want to say it's the right thing to do. It's not the right thing to do to Emily regardless. But if you're like you said grooming Andy to be in this industry and to be like a successor in a way, that is a teaching moment that she would need to have.
Mm-hmm. I think it is like good experience if that would be the line of work that Andy would want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. That's so rough. I don't know how I would do that. Especially knowing and like listening to Emily nonstop about Paris. Like I feel like that had to have been like on loop through her mouth and then have to be the like shut that down after hearing that would have sucked. Would have sucked so bad.
Yeah, for sure. And then she has the conversation with Nigel about like becoming the creative director with James Holt.
Yep.
And he's so excited about it.
Makes me so sad.
I know.
And he's like, I believe that everything will be okay. And it's like, you're so like hopeful. And doesn't he say something about like being like in the years or in the industry for like 50 years or something?
I think he had said that like him being the creative director would have been like 18 years, and he gets to be like the person making the decisions for the first time in 18 years, which is rough.
Nigel.
I think Nigel is the real victim in the story.
He is. He gets like snubbed hardcore.
I know too, and that's got to be rough to hear it the way he did too, like at the announcement.
God.
And it really hurt my heart that everyone kind of looked around, like James Holt and then Jacqueline, like they knew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like everybody but Nigel knew.
I hated that moment too where he's like, I guess I'm just gonna have to wait until she thinks it's the right time. And I'm like,
It's like, and he's just, because obviously him and Miranda have a good relationship. There's never been any point that implies that they don't have a good relationship. Like,
Right.
she values his opinion. Like,
Mhm.
he's a colleague. He speaks highly of her, despite the fact that he knows that she has her kinks.
Right.
So this has to be a really rough moment for him to have to put that much trust in her. And to still ultimately
Yeah.
admit that he doesn't know if she'll ever give him, like, his flowers.
God.
Because before she takes care of anyone, she will take care of herself.
Right. Ugh.
Also, this is kind of like backtracking a little bit with the Christian again. Like, after him and Andy sleep together. Do you know how, like, Andy must have felt such a rock in her stomach when she saw that fucking Runway magazine in his hotel right
Oh
after they
yeah.
slept together. I would be
Right.
livid.
I would be too. I'd be like throwing up. Like, what do you mean? Are you trying to play the long con with me? What the hell?
I do kind of think that's what it was.
I think so.
Because he was
Which
like
sucks.
going into work with Jacqueline, and like if Miranda's gone, Andy's not Miranda's assistant anymore unless Andy decides to follow Miranda. I think he was trying to honeypot her a little bit into coming into work with them and to leave
Oh
Miranda.
God.
I think that's what it was.
I think you're. Ugh, I think you're
It's
right.
I would be throwing stuff. I would be throwing him out of the window. I would defenestrate this man.
Yeah. And you're right. And you're right for that.
I would be pissed.
But I really appreciate like after like Christian's like, you know what, this is all coming up for me and I'm gonna be the head bitch in charge. Andy is like, I gotta tell Miranda right now. I
Yeah.
really appreciate how loyal that she was.
It speaks a lot to her character that
Oh
she
yeah.
was like, Miranda has put her through so much hell, but she still knows that Runway is Miranda's life, and the idea that she wouldn't know she's being sacked would kill her.
Right. That's like ultimate backstabbing. So I just really appreciate that. And he's like doing whatever it takes to try to tell Miranda, but Miranda keeps on dismissing her.
Because she knows already. And she's like, get out of my face.
It's fine. Go
Mama's
away.
got it handled.
But I really like when they last Miranda and Andy get in like the car together for the last time. Well
Mhm.
no, that's after the benefit. I'm skipping too far ahead. Um right? Am I crazy? Or did they go to the benefit together?
They went to the benefit together, but Andy didn't go into the building with Miranda.
Right. I remember now. Um I like that they're both wearing very similar like silhouettes, very
Mhm.
similar necklines. So I think that's a kind of another like elbow nudge nudge of like they're very similar.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I feel like Andy in that car had a little bit of like the ghost of Christmas future like moment where she like was like looking into her future at Miranda.
Mhm. Know me better, man. But yeah, I think yeah, and she was like looking at what could have been or what could be, I guess is the better way to say it. But they make it to the benefit, and Miranda's like, I hope there's no Fresias in these days. Oh, and in the midst of all of this too, Miranda gets the news that she's getting a divorce too, which kind of like I
Oh,
feel like also
we
is like swirling in there.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
jumbling up the timeline bad actually.
it's okay. There's a
No,
lot
no, 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 no,
happening.
no, no. Okay. So
Lock in.
she gets the news about her divorce before Andy sleeps with Christian because Miranda is
Yes.
going to a dinner and Andy is going to a separate dinner with Christian. Miranda
Yes.
is like, my husband is divorcing me, and they have that like really human moment together.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's interesting to like see Miranda like stripped down of everything in that moment because she's like what in her I think she's like in like a regular like silk robe, no makeup on, no accessories, no like battle armor or anything. And she's like, yeah, he's divorcing me. And we need to go over or she doesn't even say that at first. She's not even outright. She's like, we need to look at the seating chart.
Mm-hmm.
We need to look at the seating chart and move Snoop Dogg to my table. LOL.
I really like the Snoop Dogg. What I really like about that scene too is that Miranda wants to hang out with Snoop Dogg.
I think that's so fucking funny.
Like my soon to be ex husband's not come and move Snoop to my table.
I want to party with Snoop, man, you know?
I think that's so funny.
And I like too that Andy doesn't Andy like doesn't pick up on it in that moment because she's like, "Oh yeah, well, where is your husband gonna sit?" Like, girl, read the room. Like, do I need to pick him up from the airport? No, girl.
No. And then they have
yeah.
that really Miranda like almost lets Andy in because Miranda is she's kind of having like a little vent session where she's talking at Andy primarily about everything that's going on, about how she doesn't want the press to be bothering her and like or bothering her kids rather. Like, she was like,
Yeah.
well, I don't really care what they write about me, but like, and that's a fair point. Like the press do
Yeah.
get pretty vicious about celebrities' children.
But I appreciate Miranda for like trying to like be that like protector for her kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care what they say, but I just can't help but think about what it would how it would affect the twins. And I think that kind of like shows like her humanity too. Like, she cares about her children.
Yeah.
Like, she's a real person. It felt very like stripped down in that moment.
Mm-hmm. And I think it was a very, very smart decision to have her like both emotionally and kind of like physically stripped down a bit, like no makeup, no like there's no shield between her and Andy in that moment.
Mm-hmm. The walls are down.
Yeah. And then immediately, like without even missing a beat, she goes right back into work mode, right back into her defense mechanism.
Yep, she's like snaps right back into it so fast.
And even when Andy like tries to extend that how can I help you thing, she's like, nope, we're done. No more emotions for 100 years. Yeah, and it's after that she goes to her dinner with Christian. They have their thing. She somehow does not kill him that morning after.
Some godforsaken way. I don't know how.
And then she's like, I need to warn Miranda. And then they do the benefit, and that's where Miranda is like, Jacqueline will be the new creative director.
And everyone's like, huh? Poor Nigel, man.
I know.
That had like I'm just imagining being him in that moment and like feeling my like stomach sink.
And he just accepts it like so candid, like so easily. Where it's like, I feel like this has had to have happened before. Like something akin to this has had to have happened in their relationship before.
I mean, over 18 years, it had to have. And I guess so the cycle repeats.
Because and even though this has happened, I don't doubt Nigel's loyalty to Miranda even for a second. Because Miranda, like one of the arguing points that she had against the I guess like her boss is she was like, if I leave, all of these people come with me. Miranda is very obviously someone who has a lot of connections, and just like that had to have come from somewhere. Like that she has to have earned that trust, because you cannot be as abrasive as Miranda is and have that many people following you for no reason.
Right. Like she'd had to have like invest so much time into those relationships and like paid good on those relationships too.
Yeah. And I don't doubt that Nigel is one of those people that if Miranda left at this point, he would go with her.
Oh yeah. He's like the kind of ride or die after all this time.
And then that's like they're leaving this and going to some other event, like directly after this, that they have like the Ghost of Christmas Future moment in the car.
When they're both wearing the same neckline. I love that shot when they're sitting side by side. They're like their hair is very similar. Like it's so funny because I don't think at this point like Nigel is helping Andy at all. Like that's all Andy. So she's been like absorbing through osmosis but like through like I guess Miranda's style kind of in a way.
Yeah. It's Miranda's mini me.
And it's funny because Andy like when Miranda's basically like doing like her villain monologue explaining like what she did and why like she decided to make Jacqueline the editor in chief. Andy is like, "Oh, I could never do something like that. Like I don't win over or snub my friends." And Miranda's like, "You kind of did that with Emily."
Yeah. Andy is like, I think this was like the last thing for Andy, where she was like, well, maybe I am like falling into this world a little bit. Maybe I am like becoming good at this job. Maybe like da 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 da. But the only thing that she's had to hold on to is like, I'm a good person, and
Right.
I wouldn't hurt people to get ahead, without recognizing she's already doing it.
Mm-hmm. I think that's when she kind of like what you were saying. If you want to like move ahead, you have to move someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I think she decided to remove herself from the equation.
Yeah, and I think that this moment would have. It's very impactful, regardless. I feel like this
Mhm.
moment may have been a little bit more impactful if maybe her friends weren't being so weird about it the entire movie.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I feel like, yeah, but she was trying. I feel like Andy was trying the entire time to like still be there, still stick up for her friends, still like and take the time for her relationships, but they like still they didn't think it was enough
Mm-hmm.
despite her efforts.
And it is impactful that she like presumably hurt these relationships with her friends, like I guess, but still chose to do like the right thing and remove herself from the equation because regardless of, I've seen a lot of people say that like Andy's friends are fucking evil and they don't understand her and they're the villains of the story. I don't know if I think that's the case necessarily.
I think it was kind of like I don't know. Feels to me more like miscommunication, not that they're like evil.
Yeah, because I think the message of it is ultimately that this industry was not like right for Andy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was conveyed without her friends being like, "You've changed."
Yeah, I think that was like a little like of the movie being like or dumbing itself down a little bit to make it like more easy to digest because I
Mm.
feel like that was like the screenwriter's way of being like she's like different now and even her friends noted. I think he, the viewer, could have been able to see that without having the friends point out the obvious to us.
Yeah. Because there were ways that she was changing, potentially for the worse. She was becoming more comfortable making these decisions that would ultimately hurt
Hmm.
her peers. And then,
Yeah.
like, that big wake up call of, because I think her denial was cushioning it a little bit of like, oh, that's not what I'm doing. I don't have a choice. And then I feel like Miranda was a fine enough vehicle to like deliver the like, no, you're not, girl. Like
Look around you.
bullet.
Yeah. I think that would have been way more impactful to like have her like the authority be like, "Hey, look around you. We are similar. Look
Mm-hmm.
at the decisions you made to make it here next to me."
Because I feel like so much of Andy's pride, I guess, at the beginning was fueled by the fact that these people don't like her. And
Hmm.
then once Miranda started showing, like, being favorable to her, she had less of a, like, I guess, she had less to fall back on for the idea that, like, oh, well, I'm very different. Oh, I'm so different.
Hmm. True.
I feel like what Miranda said, like, that, like, I really like this line where she's like, everybody wants to be us. Like,
I love that.
pulling Andy in, like still like really like hammering down like it's us together.
Like
You're
the
in
inner
this.
circle. Yep. Like you're yeah, like you're a part of us now. Everyone wants to be us. Not
Mm-hmm.
everyone wants to be me. That's so different. Um, but I really like how Andy goes a different way of the car. Miranda steps into the crowd. She like looks around. You see her like a little bit for Andy, and then
Mm-hmm.
she just pushes on because that's her world.
Yep. She
On to the
can't.
next.
Yeah, she can't make Andy follow behind her, and she's most certainly not going to stop for Andy.
Right.
And then she has like the little. I know that this is supposed to be like like Andy like being like I'm choosing my own way. She threw her phone in the fountain. Girl, how are you gonna leave?
How are you gonna get home?
You're in a different country and you don't have a phone now. Good job.
Right. Are you? You're gonna still have to pay for that, aren't you?
Yeah, it's still your phone. Like Miranda didn't give you that phone.
Right. But like, good for you, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah. Girl, block a number.
Right? Just hang up the call. Um, but then I guess Andy miraculously makes her way back home
Yeah.
and then meets up with her ex-boyfriend at a cute little cafe, and he tells her that he's now like a sous chef in Boston.
Mm-hmm. Good for
So
him.
I guess like, yeah, good for you, man. Props for you. And Andy's like, I have an interview too. Like, life is changing for me too. Um, and she goes to the New York Mirror, and it's really funny because the editor in chief over there like looks over like all of her work, is like, wow, this is all like the stuff that we like to do over here. Um, and I guess Miranda had sent over a reference to him being like, we get the biggest fake out of the century.
Yeah.
Where I guess in Miranda's reference letter, she says that Andy was the biggest disappointment, and that guy would be an idiot not to hire her.
Yeah. Which I feel like it's kind of Miranda language for being like kind of salty that Andy left.
Yeah. I feel like it's like disappointment in that she like saw like a bigger future for Andy.
Yeah.
I wonder how that's going to play into the next movie.
Who
I'm very
knows?
curious.
I have a potentially controversial opinion about The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Go on.
I don't know if it's necessary.
I don't think it is. But I feel like that's like the new thing, right? Of like unnecessary sequels, try to like rebank on the money and the nostalgia that people have for the first. Like,
Because I'm like, what is the point?
I
I feel
think,
like this wrapped up kind
yeah,
of cleanly.
it did. It said all that it needed to say, that Andy entered the world that she thought was for her and then left because it wasn't. So I don't know why those two characters are going to need to like interact with each other again. I thought we were done. Like,
Yeah,
also
I'm
the
not
fact
sure.
that, like, how many years later and Miranda's still in the game? Like, come on, let that bitch retire.
No, I feel like that's accurate. I feel like Miranda's gonna be doing this till she dies.
You know, yeah, never mind, because she did say there's no one else who can dislike me.
Yeah, no, Miranda's in the game till she's dead. She's gonna die in her office.
Or she's gonna like be one of those people where like she like retires, but they still have her on call. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like she's no longer in the building, but she's like a speed dial.
No, for sure.
Um, but Andy like gets her job, and I really like her outfit she's wearing at the end, because I feel like there's still, you can still see her fashion influence, but it's like much more like like streetwear, I guess, or like toned down, because she's wearing like a nice like burgundy like leather jacket with a black turtleneck, dark jeans, and I think like riding boots. I think she's wearing.
Yeah, I like that. I like that there is a nod that not all of like Runway's still in her. Like there were good
Yes.
things that she came out of Runway. Like she came out of there with good skills.
Yes. And I think more self-confidence too, like,
Mm-hmm.
which like is shown in how she like dresses or carries herself now.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, so we like see her, Andy's like walking away from her new job, and she tells and or gives Emily the news that like she's giving her all like the swag that she got from Paris, and Emily, it's so funny. She's like, I guess I could take it off your hands, like trying to like play so nonchalant. She's
Yeah, I'm gonna
funny.
have it taken in, you cow.
God, you bitch. So funny.
I really liked her being like, you have some big shoes to fill to the new assistant, though.
Yeah, very cute. You got to get your act together. But then she's like strolling on like the New York City street, and she sees Miranda exiting the car outside of the runway office. And Miranda or Andy like waves at Miranda, and Miranda just stares for like maybe blinks for a second, then gets in her car and then smiles to herself for like maybe like a split second, and then she's like, "What are you waiting for? Drive!"
Bucket starts cheesing. Fakest I don't give a fucker ever.
I know. She degaff. She degaff.
She degaff
She
hard.
do give a fuck. She degaff.
Acted like she doesn't know who Emily is, giving her like a glowing review.
Right.
Like, girl, whatever.
You could try to play cool, man, but we all know it's okay.
I saw one of the trailers for the new one too, where she's like pretending she doesn't know who Andy is, I guess.
What?
She's like, do I know you? Do I know who you are? And like Emily is in the trailer too, and she's like, we both worked at Runway at the same time. Like she's acting like she doesn't know who Emily is. I'm like, whatever. I don't know what we're doing with this.
Like when it was one of her like best, I guess, assistants of all time, and you gave her the glowing reveal. I would think, I don't know. That had to have left an impact on Miranda.
I feel like it would have. I don't know. Maybe they're going down like she's playing coy, like fake. I don't give a fucker still, or she's old.
I'm looking at the wiki, and apparently it was Meryl Streep's idea for Miranda not to wear makeup during the divorce scene.
Very good call.
Good call. She did good
Very
work.
good. But I love this movie. I think that this movie,
It's so fun.
it's super fun. I think that it has some really good messages in it about like understanding like the business and understanding like what you have to do as a woman to survive in the business.
Mm-hmm.
And like how do I feel like it does a good job de-romanticizing like the more I guess like ugly aspects of it. Like
Yes.
every because Miranda's right. Everybody does want to be Miranda Priestley, but are you actually comfortable and willing to do the things you would have to do to be a Miranda Priestley? Because they're not nice. It's not good stuff a lot of the time that you have to do in order to get that high.
Right. Like if you want to climb the ladder, you're gonna have to be willing to step on a few heads. Like you can't have one without the other.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like it kind of like there are certain parts that kind of make that challenge you is like, do you think that Andy is a bad person for the things that she's done so far?
Yeah.
Do you think that Miranda is a bad person for the things that she's done so far? And it's
it
a hard
also-
question.
It is. And like it makes you look at like her friendships too, and like even like her relationship with her boyfriend, and kind of, I don't know, put that all into question too of like like how would you react? It's a good movie to like put yourself in the main character's shoes, in Andy's shoes.
Yeah. I think so as well. Because I think that it's ooh, I had a point that I was gonna say and I don't know what it was.
Oh no.
Nope, it's gone.
It's okay.
Happens.
Hey, we can think about it when Devil Wears, or the second movie.
Oh yeah.
Bring it up again then.
Yeah. I don't know. I think a lot of good stuff to take home from this.
And Meryl Streep just Meryl Streep just rules. She's
I
so
love
cool.
Meryl Streep.
I love her so much.
She's so cool.
She is. I just really like how effortlessly she can like play like the HBIC, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone, that's all from this Devil and Zombie for The Devil Wears Prada. But don't panic. We'll see you in our season finale. Talk about Hereditary. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.